Hi guys, this is Mattias, and what you're gonna see in this video is something that's probably going to stir up quite a lot of feelings and emotions from a lot of people, and I just want to start saying this. I believe that all people are equal. I believe that no matter where you are born, no matter your race, religion, or color of your skin, you have the same possibility to be smart, brave, successful, beautiful, understanding, forgiving, and among all great things you can be, you have the same possibility to be bad. But where you are born is going to have a massive impact in how you grow up, what kind of person you're going to be, and how you're going to live your life. Among your talent and dedication and your interests, that is also going to determine what you are going to be good at, bad at, and it's also going to have a big impact on what you think about others. When it comes to ATV driving in H1Z1 though, I'm always going to be number one. Now, all jokes aside, I think America is just as great of a nation as any other. I lived there twice, both times in LA, and I actually was in LA during the 9/11 attacks in 2001. Now, in a game such as H1Z1, people have a tendency to be very, very emotional. Losing a gunfight or dying can give you a strong feeling of disappointment and anger. Now, some people, or I think most people actually, they try to contain their anger, try to keep it civil, and if they are angry or disappointed, they try not to show it, because most people know that if they do, it's very possible that this will look very bad, especially afterwards. What you see here is from the game mode Battle Royale in the game H1Z1. The winner is determined by the last man standing. This is a solo game mode where you're supposed to play by yourself, something that the game developers Daybreak Game Company has quite clearly explained recently. At the same time, if you want to team up, there is both 2-man and 5-man Team BR. And I can admit, I've been quite frustrated over people playing as a team in regular BR after Team BR was introduced. Why teaming, guys? Why teaming?
I'm guessing you don't speak English?
I am.
Yeah, you don't speak English.
Hola, amigos.
So you have problem understanding English?
Yeah, you have a problem with not speaking English.
So you're teaming and you both died and I took 0 damage. Good game.
And you don't speak English.
You seem to understand what I'm saying though.
Yeah, but I can tell that you're not American.
No, I'm not American. That's very true. Yeah. I still
Okay,
speak
so I
English
just wanna
though.
kill you. I mean, you shouldn't have rights then if you're not American.
Oh, we have that thing now.
Okay,
An
so what are you
arrogant
if you're not
American. A European?
Thank you. Oh, you're European. United States #1, man. You'll always be below us.
Holy shit, so many Americans are gonna be so embarrassed hearing this on YouTube, man.
That's pretty sad that you record on YouTube. Okay, tell me your YouTube channel. I'll look at it. I think you're too scared to tell me. Are you too scared?
Mattias Gaming.
Mati, what?
Ah, you're just stupid. There's no point explaining to you. You're too stupid to understand.
No, I just can't hear you because you're fucking European and you have a horrible American accent.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
It's hard to tell what you're saying.
What's that?
It's hard to tell what you're saying since you're not American.
Oh, okay. So you have this, we Americans are all above everything else kind of attitude, huh?
Oh yeah, because it's true.
Alright. In what exactly?
Everything.
No, not really. Saw this really interesting clip
I'm
on...
pretty sure it's everything.
I saw this interesting clip about... I don't know, it was some kind of... I think it was a president election. And this guy was just rambling about everything that America was like below top 20. He was just rambling over and over and over and over. You should see it. I wish I could remember the name of it.
Who was?
I wish I remember. I wish I remember.
No, he wasn't American, of course.
He's American, yeah.
Of course he's going to stay. No, why? Who was it?
I wish I could remember. Now the reason why I'm making this video is because this is not the first, second or third, hell, it's not the 10th time that I hear this kind of stuff playing an online game. And keep in mind, normally when I play a game, I play on a European server, while players on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, for example, play on different servers, and that is due to something called latency. I also want to mention that what you heard in this conversation does not in any way reflect what I believe or what I think about the American people in general. Instead, I'm convinced that intelligent people, no matter where from, has a natural interest in making progress. We want things to be better. We want it for ourselves and we want it for others. For now and for the future, big and small. But to do so, we have to recognize if, when, and where there is a problem. Because if we can't do that, we can't even begin. And one of the most important factors that plays in whether or not you're gonna make progress or not is self-criticism. The man in the mirror is always the best place to start. Or well, the woman in the mirror maybe, but most people that are gonna watch this video are going to be male, unfortunately. Now in the past I've never really talked about these things on my YouTube channel, so needless to say, almost nobody that are watching this video are going to know that I have actually had a long period of time, several years, where I have been very, very interested in politics, for example, among other things. And one of the problems with discussing these things on the internet or related to a YouTube video like this is that you don't have enough time to explain your point of view or why you think this and that. And that is one of many reasons why it very easily becomes a lot of misunderstandings that turn this into a very hostile and very angry discussion. So now I'll just quickly give you one of many possible points of views from Sweden in this perspective. And for the majority of the last 100 years, Sweden has been governed by the Social Democrats. And in terms of left and right, by American standards, the Social Democrats would be very far to the left. And while it would seem like a lot of Americans would consider anything left of the liberals to be socialism, that is not the case. Sweden has capitalism, Sweden does have private schools, Sweden does have private hospitals, we have plenty of private companies, we have a stock exchange, and as much as there are American companies that owns a lot of Swedish companies, that also goes the other way around. So now during the democratic elections in Sweden, America or United States of America is very often brought up, and for the most part in a very negative way. As a matter of fact, the two main left-wing Swedish parties, they use America as an example of what they don't want, and by guaranteeing us, the Swedish voters, that whatever you see in America is not going to happen in Sweden, they have historically been very successful. Of course, there are many other factors that plays in. Now in media, movies and whatnot, you quite regularly hear Americans talking about freedom and how they're very happy and proud of this. And the reactions from people from other countries is normally just like, yeah, so? Are you aware of what year this is? And I'll confess something. For the majority of my life, I have taken freedom for granted. I know I shouldn't, but I have. And then as you grow older, you get interested in these stuff. You read about, Soviet Union, North Korea, and eventually, as I got into gaming, I started talking to people that had actually lived and grown up on the other side of the Iron Curtain. Now, there's no shortage in flaws and problems with capitalism, don't get me wrong, but damn. If there's one thing I really want to say is this: do not take democracy for granted. Do not. Now, when I discuss politics with people, the situation can many times be very, very tense, and one thing that I've learned is this. Almost all people that have opinions about politics, whether you agree with it or not, they have that because they care. This is a strong belief I have. The main source for any political opinion is that you care. Now, this is something that I try to remind myself of whenever I get worked up over something that I disagree with. Now, when you start comparing one country to another, you have to realize that almost all people, they live their whole life, or almost their whole life, in one country, the same country they were born in. Now, this means that it's very hard to compare one country from another, especially what it's like to live in it. So when you hear stuff that you heard from that guy earlier in the video, you'd almost think like, what, has that guy been brainwashed or something? Maybe he didn't pay too much attention in school, but to be fair, most people when they hear stuff like that, they barely pay attention at all. Well, at least that's my experience. Personally, I believe in pragmatism. I believe in progress. Now, whatever you want to improve, of course, there are many different ways to achieve that. Now for me, the whole thing about learning and improving and helping others to learn and improve, there's just something addictive about it. Like for example, the feedback that I get from some of my tutorials when people tell me how much they learned from it and how much they have improved from it, the gratitude and the appreciation that I get from people that I don't even know, it's a feeling, it's undescribable. I don't even know how to explain it. It's some kind of rush that almost feels like a drug. You know, being able to help another individual, even if it's just a computer game, sometimes it can be intoxicating, and that is definitely what keeps me going as a YouTuber. Anyway, this video became a lot more serious than most of my uploads, and with that, I would like to thank you all for watching. Good game.